Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angel. For all of you new who are tuning in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some tips for getting your babies to sleep through the night, especially your newborns. As you can see, we have baby Ziri here. Hopefully you guys don't hear her snoring. I don't know when this is gonna get edited and uploaded so that you guys have context. Filming this, she's currently 6 weeks. This is my baby number 2 and she is sleeping through the night. And when I say night, I mean 6+ hours. So anywhere from 6.5 hours, which is usually what I run off anyway. For the most part, she started sleeping through the night at 5 weeks. And if she did wake up during the nighttime, like half that week she slept all night, and then the other half she woke up after 4 or 5 hours stretches. So still really great. A quick update. This is a couple weeks later. She's now 9 weeks. When she hit week 7, 8, she did have a regression. I did incorporate 3 new things and we got back on track. Well, she's actually up to 10 to 12 hours now with 2 feedings. And a lot of people have asked me, how do I get my babies to sleep even so early and sleep all night? Today is just sharing my tips. I am not telling you to do this. I am not telling you what to do. I'm just answering some questions and sharing with you what we do with our babies and how we're able to get them to sleep long periods of times at night. If other things work, drop the comment, let us know. It may help another mom. Let's not do any mom bashing. Let's just try to help each other. Couple of disclosures. I don't want to call this sleep training necessarily, I guess you can say, because I know some people do like strict schedules of the daytime and sleep at this time and eat at this time and, you know, just you play at this time. I don't do any type of scheduling, you guys. I feed my baby usually when she's hungry. Sometimes we stretch it because I don't want her to overeat, but especially in the daytime, I'm not on a strict schedule. I'm not on a strict nap schedule either. I let her sleep when she wants to sleep. I don't wake her up for her naps. I don't do any of that. So that's why I want to say like training or sleep training, because it's not really that. So no schedules. The only thing I do is I get my babies to associate nighttime with sleeping all night. And I'm going to tell you the things that we do to achieve that. And you guys, I use a baby tracker that I created. I actually created this for myself, especially when they're newborn phases, like from day 1, because their ounces change, their feeding schedule changes. You can keep track of for their poops, because every time you go to the doctor, they're going to ask you how many times are they pooping, peeing, how many feedings are they taking, how much, all of that. So I made a baby tracker. So if you guys want it, I actually opened it up and put it in my store. You can actually grab one if you want. It's not expensive, but it was super helpful for me. If you guys are interested in that, you can definitely check that out. A few more disclosures. Okay, first, because I formula feed my husband and I, even when she would do the 4 or 5 hours, we switch off. So it's not so much on one person per night. We still get good sleep here for the most part with having a newborn. Another disclaimer, I don't do pacifiers. None of my babies grown up on a pacifier. I didn't grow up on a pacifier. We pacify our babies in other ways, which I will also get to in this video too. And they self-soothe. So this is all like how they self-soothe, how they're able to sleep all night. So far, so good. Again, not telling you what to do with your babies. I'm just telling you what we've done and answering the questions of how, because a lot of people have asked. So let's get started. Tip number 1, I put my babies in the crib day 1 from the hospital. The day we get home, they sleep in their cribs for us. A couple reasons why. One is that they get used to their room. Let me tell you, my son is 3 and he loves his room. He's always loved his room because that's the only place he slept in at nighttime. He is to the point now he kicks mom and dad out his room. When it's nighttime, he's like, bye, get out. Okay, it's like his peace, it's his sanctuary. He loves it. And even this toddler room he decorated himself, which I plan to share the video of his room makeover, but he created the whole space himself. If you guys watched our nighttime routines, our toddler routines, I shared Instagram nighttime wake up with him, and he loves his room. Even at 1 year old, 2 years old, boy loves his room. But he's associated that with his space. It's his space, so he loves it. That's one reason why we put them in the crib day 1, so they can get associated to being in a room that is theirs versus sleeping with us in our room, because we have dogs too. So it will be 2 parents, 2 dogs, and they will be used to somebody in their room. And then when you take that from sleeping in the room with you to a completely isolated room, that could be really tough on babies and kids too, because they're used to somebody being in the room with them and they feel that presence. So that's personally why we do it, so that one, they're learning of their space and their privacy, and it gives also parents' privacy too. So our marriage is not stressed either, and baby is more accustomed to their room. So speaking of crib, we only put our babies in the crib at nighttime. I don't do the daytime crib thing. My goal is for them to know nighttime and for them to associate the crib with nighttime. So if I did daytime, they would never be able to figure out when is it nighttime. In the daytime, as you can see, we sleep in different ways. Sometimes if I have her, she's on me, but we also have a lot of laying things around the house, like bouncers. We do the Bebo as of right now too. Also, once I get to a certain size, I think with Ace, it was maybe when he was 4 or 5 months, I have these mattresses, which I can link below, but I've shared that on Instagram so much over the years. So if you guys want to see our days in the life, I usually share all that on my stories. So make sure to follow me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and I share more of that. But I did that with Ace, and I shared it the whole time with Ace, like his little mattress. He would sleep all over the house with that thing, and it's so comfortable. Even we would like to lay on it. It's a twin size mattress. They roll up, and so throughout the daytime he would sleep on that, and then at nighttime only in the crib. He knew when we went into his room, his crib, he knew it was nighttime. So that's the thing, we don't do the daytime crib thing. It's so crazy how she literally knows when it's nighttime. It's amazing to see the process. I'm going to be uploading a nighttime baby routine too soon. I don't know if it'll be before this or after this is uploaded, but just keep a lookout for that so you can see how our nighttime routine goes. Number 2, I do bigger feedings at nighttime. Again, my babies are formula fed, so at nighttime I usually go up an ounce to give them a little bit more so that they can stay full longer. It definitely helps, and you know, formula fed babies tend to stay full longer anyway. That's tip number 2, bigger feedings at nighttime. Tip number 3 we do is we always have low lights. So when we get ready for nighttime, the lights are turned off. I have a nightlight going with her white noise, which we'll talk about in just a second, and then I get her changed. We get ready for bed, so everything is dark, or for the most part. We have like little lights on just to see, so we keep everything low light. You want to keep everything dark. When we get ready for bed, the lights are off. We only have the nightlight on, maybe a little lamp, but even throughout the night, if we have to wake up to feed her or change her, we do not turn the lights on. The goal is to keep them drowsy. You do not want your babies to fully wake up. I don't even like her to go into a full-blown cry, because when you fully wake up, it takes a long time to get back in a deep sleep. So we want them drowsy, not waking up, so we keep the lights low, keep it dark in the room so they know it's still nighttime. We're gonna go right back to sleep. Even low stimulation, low talking, you know, I try not to talk, or if my husband comes in, we try to keep it quiet, because you do not want them to be alert. You want them to stay asleep, stay calm, and go back to sleep if you have to come in through the nighttime. I have a monitor in here, which I'll show you guys, but I have a baby monitor. It's motion sensor, so as soon as she go to moving or flinching, I try to look out to see if she for the fully wake up, if she gonna self-soothe or not, or if she about to get ready to go ham. So you want to get to them. Well, I like to get to them before they go ham, because if they go ham, they're gonna fully wake up. You don't want a full wake up, you want a drowsy wake up. So that definitely helps. Next tip I do is I actually change them before I feed them at nighttime. So I put her in her nightgown. She does a sleeper. You can find a lot of this in our nighttime routine. You can definitely find it in Ace routine. I did it 3 years ago for him, and it actually got over 250,000 views. So she sleeps in the same thing. So I get her dressed. She knows this gown is meant for nighttime. So it's amazing when she starts getting into that nighttime. If she's fussy, if she's ready to eat, usually at nighttime she's definitely hungry. But when I lay her on the diaper station and I start putting her arms and things, she knows is she's supposed to get this large feeding. It's so funny, but babies know. They're so smart. I definitely change her before I feed her. So again, she's associating, okay, this is our routine. I know this is nighttime. I'm for to get this large feeding, and I'm for to go to sleep. That's what you want them to get in that routine, to know what's about to come and about to happen. So the next tip I recommend is a white warmer. I know it's pro and con. Some people are like, you don't need it, and then the other people are like, I loved it. Well, I'm on the I love it side, and I tell you because at nighttime, again, the goal is to not to get them to fully wake up. You want them to stay drowsy. You want them to stay semi-sleep. So this little girl, day at the hospital where they had cold wipes that they give you, she hated the cold wipes. I mean, I don't like nothing cold on my woohoo. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. White warmers, especially for babies at nighttime, keeps them from fully waking up. Anytime you put a cold wipe on your woohoo, on a guy's woohoo, you're gonna feel it. Okay? You don't want them to wake up. And so I found for both my babies, boy and girl, keeping it warm, and even for myself, I want a warm wipe. I don't want no cold one, but it's kept them from fully waking up in a diaper change in the middle of the night, which is the goal. I recommend a white warmer for night times, especially to keep them from fully waking up, but totally your choice. That's just what we do, and that's why I do it. Another tip is music. So she loves music, Aces love music. That's what we do. We don't do pacifiers, but we do music therapy instead. When you think about a pacifier, it calms babies, right? It soothes babies. There are a lot of ways you can soothe babies. Personally, like I said, I'm speaking from experience. I wasn't pacifier either. You can definitely let them suck. Doctors and nurses will likely recommend it, so feel free to. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what we did and why. We use music therapy instead. Music is so calming. She even had to go to a heart doctor and get all of these tests done. Multiple people poking her, prodding her. No pacifier. They was like, do you have a passy? I was like, she don't do one. We put on some music and y'all, they couldn't believe it. They was like, how in the world? Could not believe it. How come she was? Even the nurses at the hospital would tell us, what are y'all doing to y'all babies? They're so calm. Every time they would come do their checks and their prodding and their prodding, they was like, what are y'all doing to y'all babies? Because it was a big old sign on her bassinet at the hospital that said no pacifier. But we just do music therapy instead. And we started playing music in the hospital. So she's definitely a music person. Ace loves music too. We didn't start Ace in the hospital with music. We started him at home. But we did start her right in the hospital with music. If there's nights like we can't get her to sleep, we do music. If she's like alert and don't want to go to sleep, we definitely put some music on, let it play. Even in her earlier days, we would let music play all night in here, you know, because she just really liked music. And she still does. We don't do the music now. For the most part, she goes to sleep. She'll wake up, but she'll self-soothe. So that has helped. And then we also do the white noise. So the light we have is white noise and lamp. And I did it with Ace. Ace loves his. He still uses his. He'll wake up, turn his night light off, and when he's going to bed, he'll go turn it on. But the white noise just helps, so it's not so quiet. So if you're walking in the hallways or somebody knocked down something in the room next door, they don't hear it. That's the goal, to just give it noise in the room so it's not so quiet. The white noise machines has helped us a lot tremendously, just for them to keep them sleep without randomly hearing stuff. And they're above each other, so I know sometimes Ace will drop something or she'll be crying, you know, and he can't hear. So the white noise, again, it helps to cover outside noise. All right, y'all, this is a quick insert from the original video. This is a couple weeks later. She's about 9.5 weeks. So I wanted to give you guys an update. She's looking so mean right now. Anyway, a quick update of some things that happened. So when she hit week 8-ish, she did have a regression. So, and she started backtracking. I did incorporate 3 new things and we got back on track because she's back to sleeping. Well, she's actually up to 10 to 12 hours now with 2 feeding. You trying to talk? She looking so mean. Anyway, so yeah, she's up to 10 to 12 hours with 2 feedings in between, and we've been doing that pretty consistently. And the things that I changed, let me tell you what I did do differently when she hit that regression. We bought the Nest sleeper. So, and that's one thing I forgot in the first video about the sleepers. Sleepers can, in my opinion, with my babies, can be game changers. So we were using one in her newborn phase and worked great, but when she started hitting that regression, I was like, okay, it's time to try a different swaller. So we tried the Magic Suit. Didn't work for her just yet. It may work for her when she's older, but she did not like it. Ace loved the Magic Suit, by the way. But you know, every baby's different, so I always say with the sleep suits, just keep trying to see which one works best with your baby. I needed a weighted one because she was a heavy mover and she likes to wake herself up. So I did go to the, I think it's the Nest Egg or Bean. I can't remember. I will link it though for you guys. I will actually link all of them because some work better than others. And personally, I just recommend trying to see. I could do a video of which works best, but every baby is different. And you know, what works for one may not work as good for another baby. So just try them all to see what works best with your baby. So that worked great. The first night we put her in, she slept like 10 plus hours, then she went to 12 hours, and so like she's been averaging between 10 and 12 hours with 2 feeding. And so that was the first thing I did, was changed out her swaddle, and then I also increased her feeding by another ounce. So we went from 4 ounces to 5 ounce feedings, and then I also incorporated the soother over the crib. which I'll show you guys an insert of it, which we also have for Ace. We used Ace as a newborn too, and Ace is 3 and still loves his soother. He turns that TV on every night. So those 3 things is what got us out the regression phase and back to sleeping even longer and back on track now. So, you know, that's what worked for us. I can't say it will work for you for every baby. All I can say is just try to see what works best for you and your baby. So hope that helps. So those are pretty much my tips. I will give you guys the things that are essentials for me for making this work for them to sleep these period of times in their crib. One, I have to have this sock right here, y'all. This is the Owlet sock. It monitors their heart rate all night. First, I know, especially anxiety, like leaving your baby in another room can definitely give parents anxiety. I know. So the one thing that helped me was the Owlet sock, and it keeps track of their heart rate, and if it's dropping, it's alerts on their phone, it's alerts on this thing here. It definitely helped with my anxiety of leaving her in a room by herself, making sure she's breathing and she's okay. This is a must-have for me. It's a non-negotiable and it's worth every penny. And then 2, I have a motion sensor camera. It's motion and sound. So if she flinches, if she moves, or if she makes a noise, it goes off. And sometimes it goes off too much, but I prefer too much than not enough. Again, because with her in the crib and you know she can't flip over right now, so you don't want them to like suffocate and stuff like that. I'm a light sleeper, by the way, so it works for me because I'm a light sleeper. If she flinches, even if she do a head move or she move her arms, the camera goes off, and that's what I want because I just want to make sure, you know, she's okay. Now, as a newborn, I do sleep her with a little sleeper in the crib just to keep her from turning and rolling. I did with Ace too. Definitely not telling you to do that or what to do, but this is what I did because I did not want her rolling, and because it's very tight. As soon as I lay her down in there, it keeps her from rolling or tossing, because Ace was a roller very early on, so it just keeps them in place. I use the DockATot. That way, I know they tell you not to do that, but that helped with keeping her from rolling, and especially Ace too, because he was a major roller. Feel free to find what works for you. That's just what has worked for us. And then, like I said, I also use the nightlight with the white noise machine on it. I can link what we use, and then also the white warmer for me is non-negotiable too. So those are my requirements for getting my babies to sleep through the nights. That's what I absolutely need, and those are my essentials. Hopefully this video was helpful to you and answers a lot of questions you guys have had. I try to make it very detailed. I know I don't usually have a lot of time. I'm gonna try to do more sit downs and give you guys more answers. It's just been really hard lately because, you know, we're being pregnant, we're building a house, and it's just been a lot of things on us, and having the miscarriage, it's just been a lot. So thank you guys for the journey. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you do have questions below. Again, this is not telling what to do, so you don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. I'm telling you right now. I'm just answering those who wanted to know my reasoning behind it and the things that I do. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.